Hello, welcome to day 68 of 365. This study will upload on March the 10th. Most of the tabernacle elements are complete. There's a few more, and that's what we're going to read about. So let's hop in. We're going to read Exodus chapter 38 and to the first 7 verses of chapter 39. He made the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood. So it's the altar of burnt offering. And that's where they're going to actually offer the sacrifices. 5 cubits was its length, and 5 cubits its breadth. It was square, and 3 cubits was its height. He made horns for it on its 4 corners. Its horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with bronze. And he made all the utensils of the altar, the pots, the shovels, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans. He made all its utensils of bronze. And he made for the altar a grating, a network of bronze under its ledge extending halfway down. He cast 4 rings on the 4 corners of the bronze grating as holders for the poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. And he put the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar to carry it with them. He made it hollow with boards. He made the basin of bronze and its stand of bronze from the mirrors of the ministering women who ministered in the entrance of the tent of meeting. I'm going to pause there and let's turn to the Torah commentary. We're going to do it a little differently today. So it's chapter 38, verse 8. From the mirrors of the legions, the laver was a very large copper basin in the tabernacle courtyard, from which the Kohanim were required to wash their hands and feet before performing the service. It was not made of copper from the regular contributions, since the laver is not listed below among the items that were made from that copper. So what's going on? Those who massed, the women massed at Moses' tent to bring their mirrors. The women had always massed at Moses' tent to pray and hear the teachings of God and to rid themselves of the temptations and base pleasures of this world. So the mirrors came from the women who ministered in the temple where the priests washed, and they came to listen to Moses' teaching. Making the court. And he made the court for the south side. The hangings of the court were of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Their 20 pillars and their 20 bases were of bronze, but the hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And for the north side there were hangings of 100 cubits. Their 20 pillars and their 20 bases were of bronze, but the hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits. Their 10 pillars and their 10 bases. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And for the front to the east 50 cubits. The hangings for one side of the grate were 15 cubits, with 3 pillars and 3 bases. And so for the other side. On both sides of the gate of the court were hangings of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 bases. All the hangings around the court were of fine twined linen, and the bases for the pillars were of bronze, but the hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. The overlaying of their capitals was also of silver, and all the pillars of the court were filleted with silver. And the screen for the gate of the court was embroidered with needlework in blue and purple and scarlet yarns and fine twined linen. It was 20 cubits long and 5 cubits high in its breadth, corresponding to the hangings of the court, and their pillars were 4 in number. Their 4 bases were of bronze, their hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their capitals and their fillets of silver, and all the pegs for the tabernacle and for the court all around were of bronze. These I guess they may seem boring, but they shouldn't. Every word in the Bible is meaningful. Every one of these elements is meaningful. But since this is the first time through the Bible for some, we're doing an overview and not getting down into the nitty gritty of each and everything. Trust me, I could go down a rabbit hole and love doing it. Right now, I feel that I'm being called to read the Bible through with people who say, I just don't understand the Bible. So what's to understand here is that they didn't make all this in one day. So they escaped Pharaoh. They're out in the wilderness, and they're working to build this. This is probably taking a few years. I'm sure it says it in here and we'll come across it. Materials for the tabernacle. These are the records of the tabernacle of the testimony as they were recorded at the commandment of Moses. So this is part of the tabernacle, the word that Moses is writing. And why is he writing it? For us, so that it could be read for all eternity. Commandment were recorded at the commandment of Moses, the responsibility of the Levites under the direction of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. Bezalel, the son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all the Lord commanded Moses. So when they say he made the altar, they are speaking of Bezalel. And he's from the tribe of Judah, and so is Jesus. And remember that Jesus is the embodiment of all of these elements, and most especially of the Word. What is the holiest thing in the temple? You might say the Ark of the Covenant. It's not. It's made holy by what is in it, and that is the Word of God. The Ten Commandments and Moses's writings are also in there. So Jesus is the Word made flesh. Bezalel, the son of Uri, son of Hur, and of the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord commanded Moses. And with him was Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and designer and embroiderer in blue and purple and scarlet yarns and fine twined linen. All the gold that was used for the work and all the construction of the sanctuary, the gold from the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels by the shekel of the sanctuary. The silver from those of the congregation who were recorded was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels by the shekel of the sanctuary. A beka, a head, that is, half a shekel by the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone who was listed in the records from 20 years old and upward, for 603,550 men. The 100 talents of silver were for casting the bases of the sanctuary and the bases of the veil, 100 bases for the 100 talents, a talent base, and of the 1,775 shekels, he made hooks for the pillars and overlaid their capitals and made fillets for them. The bronze that was offered was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. With it he made the bases of the entrance of the tent of meeting, the bronze altar, and the bronze grating for it, and all the utensils of the altar. The bases around the court, and the bases of the gate of the court, all the pegs of the tabernacle, and all the pegs around the court. There is not an element in the tabernacle, in and of the tabernacle, that is not outlined here and detailed. And Moses actually had blueprints for all of them. So this undertaking, they were building a city as well, a holy city that will eventually get moved to Jerusalem. Chapter 39, making the priestly garments. From the blue and purple and scarlet yarns, they made finely woven garments for ministering in the holy place. They made the holy garments for Aaron, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He made the ephod of gold, blue, and purple and scarlet yarns, and fine twined linen. And they hammered out gold leaf, and he cut it into threads to work into the blue and the purple and the scarlet yarns, and into the fine twined linen in skilled design. They made for the ephod attaching shoulder pieces, joined to it at its two edges. I'm going to pause there, verse 4 of chapter 39, because Chuck Missler gives a talk about the shoulder pieces and how we come across that later with Christ. So let's keep our soul's ears open for that teaching. And the skillfully woven band on it was of one piece with it, and made like it of gold, blue and purple and scarlet yarns, and fine twined linen, as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made the onyx stones, enclosed in settings of gold filigree, and engraved like the engravings of a signet, according to the names of the sons of Israel. And he set them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod to be stones of remembrance for the sons of Israel, as the Lord had commanded Moses. And that ends verse 7. And since we read from this already, we're not going to hop into that now. And they didn't mention which one of the sages exposited on what I read about the mirrors and the women ministering. So I will put the 3 at the end, as I usually do. So now we're going to go to Psalm chapter 38. Do not forsake me, O Lord. The 38th Psalm, a Psalm of David for the memorial offering. So this is nice. It's hundreds of years later, and yet it ties into the tabernacle. O Lord, rebuke me not in your anger, nor discipline me in your wrath. For your arrows have sunk into me, and your hand has come down on me. There is no soundness in my flesh because of your indignation. There is no health in my bones because of my sin. For my iniquities have gone over my head like a heavy burden. They are too heavy for me. If you hear that banging, I apologize. There are folks working on the roof. My wounds stink and fester because of my foolishness. I am utterly bowed down and prostrate. All the day I go about mourning, for my sides are filled with burning, and there is no soundness in my flesh. I am feeble and crushed. I groan because of the tumult of my heart. O Lord, all my longing is before you. My sighing is not hidden from you. Remember, groaning and sighing are a prayer, and God hears us. So if sometimes that's all you can do, then do that. My heart throbs, my strength fails me, and the light of my eyes, it also has gone from me. My friends and companions stand aloof from my plague, and my nearest kin stand far off. Those who seek my life lay their snares. Those who seek my hurt speak of ruin, and meditate treachery all day long. But I am like a deaf man. I do not hear, like a mute man who does not open his mouth. I have become like a man who does not hear, and in whose mouth are no rebukes. But for you, O Lord, do I wait. It is you, O Lord my God, who will answer. We know this is a Psalm of David because he always waits on God, no matter how downtrodden. But for you, O Lord, do I wait. It is you, O Lord my God, who will answer. For I said, only let them not rejoice over me, who boast against me when my foot slips. For I am ready to fall, and my pain is ever before me. I confess my iniquity. I am sorry for my sin, but my foes are vigorous. They are mighty, and many are those who hate me wrongfully. Those who render me evil for good accuse me because I follow after good. Do not forsake me, O Lord. O my God, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. I love David. I think I shared that in an earlier reading. Jacob, David, these are all very real men that we can relate to. Men who've sinned, They are not perfect by any means. David is a warrior, a poet, a musician, a clever man, a lustful man, and yet he admits when he's afraid. He talks about uh, just sweating in fear, and hiding behind a rock, the rock of God. So David shares every emotion he has. That's probably the songwriter in him. But God is always who he runs to. So that Bryan Adams song, I'm going to run to you. Bryan Adams is talking about a guitar. David would be talking about God. So now we're going to read 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 2 to 16. Make room in your hearts for us. Remember, he's writing to the Corinthians, so this is who he's speaking to. We have wronged no one. We have corrupted no one. We have taken advantage of no one. I do not say this to condemn you, for I said before that you are in our hearts, to die together and to live together. I am acting with great boldness toward you. I have great pride in you. I am filled with comfort in all our affliction. I am overflowing with joy. For even when we came into Macedonia, our bodies had no rest, but we were afflicted at every turn, fighting without and fear within. But God, who comforts the downcast, comforted us by the coming of Titus, and not only by his coming, but also by the comfort with which he was comforted by you, as he told us of your longing, your mourning, your zeal for me, so that I rejoiced still more. Paul does not hold back. He's kind of a David-like character. He doesn't write songs. He was a Pharisee, and he certainly has the spirit of a Pharisee, I would say. For even if I made you grieve with my letter, I do not regret it, though I did regret it, for I see that that letter grieved you, though only for a while. As it is, I rejoice, not because you were grieved, but because you were grieved into repenting. For you felt a godly grief, so that you suffered no loss through us. For godly grief produces a repentance that leads to salvation without regret, whereas worldly grief produces death. For see what earnestness this godly grief has produced in you, but also what eagerness to clear yourselves, what indignation, what fear, what longing, what zeal, what punishment. At every point you have proved yourselves innocent in the matter. So although I wrote to you, it was not for the sake of the one who did the wrong, nor for the sake of the one who suffered the wrong, but in order that your earnestness for us might be revealed to you in the sight of God. Therefore, we are comforted. And besides our own comfort, we rejoice still more at the joy of Titus, because his spirit has been refreshed by you all. For whatever boasts I made to him about you, I was not put to shame. But just as everything we said to you was true, so also our boasting before Titus has proved true. And his affection for you is even greater, as he remembers the obedience of you all, how you received him with fear and trembling. I rejoice because I have complete confidence in you. So these are the early Christians, and we're reading about the early Jews after receiving the Ten Commandments and after the golden calf incident. And they are similar in their love for one another, their supporting of the community. Let's keep reading about that so that we can build our own community in this late Christian stage. I do believe we are nearing the end and Jesus is coming back. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow.